In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why you must go from third density to fourth density in this lifetime. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, and I'm going to show you why you do not want to get left behind. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why you want to go from what is called the third density state of consciousness to the fourth density state of consciousness in this life. And it's because right now on the planet, it has to do with understanding this transformation that we are going through, whether we're aware of it or not. Now, in a way, this is something that's been built up through many, many lifetimes for many, many different people. The people that are here now knew that one of the reasons at a deep level they're here right now is to go through that consciousness shift. And that's actually the main reason so many souls are here right now. You may wonder, look around and be like, whoa, there's so many billion, there's almost, 8 billion people here now? There is a very high demand. It's not just because we're reproducing very quickly. It has to do with there's a lot of souls that want to be here right now, because here right now is where it's at. Never before has a whole entire society with as much denseness as that have existed on Earth gone through this type of transformation in body. You see, when we talk about this third density, fourth density state of consciousness, there have been some civilizations of the past, such as the Mayans, and such as other civilizations that have gone through a shift collectively within that group. But what we are doing is we are going through a shift in consciousness as a whole entire planetary system. However, what we want to understand is the third density state of consciousness and the fourth density state of consciousness so that we can get the track that we prefer to be on. Now, if you've ever heard of Bashar, I listen to Bashar quite often. I've listened to The Law of One, the raw materials called The Law of One. Dolores Cannon, a lot of her work as well when it comes to hypnotherapy and getting people to a very deep level of brainwave activity where their higher self comes through and then gives certain information. So be like, why did this person incarnate at this time? What is the person's purpose in this life? All of these different things. And what the consistency has been through all three of these different sources. It's that right now on the planet, we are moving from a third density to a fourth density state of consciousness. And there have been many, think of this like a graduation as well. The universe that we live in, the planetary system that we live in, there is certain times, every so many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of years, when there is an upgrade that happens. The energy from the galactic sun that actually our sun revolves around is emitting an energy that then influences our reality. And as it influences our reality, we have then this ability to graduate. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to stay in third density state of consciousness so that then we go through our life unaware, we pass away at the end of our life, and then we go to a different third density system. We go to a different place where we have to forget who we are. Earth is a difficult place because we forget who we are. There are different places that different systems we may go into where we retain that memory of who we are, so it's not as hard. Here, though, we forget. Now, in this lifetime, if you're watching this video right now, then you have a strong intention to go from 3D to 4D, third density to fourth density. And that's so that you don't have to keep reincarnating into the system over and over and over again, forgetting who you are and going through similar patterns again, and again. Now, a common misconception that people have with third density and fourth density is that it is a completely separate state. You go from physical to non-physical. It's more so like this. I'm going to explain it. So think of it like a wave. There's different frequency bands. Think of it like different frequency band. Kind of looks like DNA. When we are in a 3D level of consciousness, things appear to be very solid. Things appear really heavy. There are dense emotions. You could also think of it as the chart that I share. In a lot of my videos, the chart, you can kind of see right there. the 3D reality really emphasizes fear, anger, guilt, shame, and all the other negative emotions. There's an attachment to it. 3D is heavy in those emotions. The 3D reality is the one that we believe is so solid and so real. And the 3D reality is when you want to create something, so you have to try really, really hard, and normally there's beliefs that block it. The 3D reality is anytime you look around and see the news telling you what's going on in the world. The 3D reality is a reality of reaction to things that are happening. It's where a good majority of the planet is right now, but waking up. The reason a lot of things are falling apart right now is so that more and more people can wake up. And as more and more people wake up, it then begins to change, because then the illusion has less power. Now, when we move into a fourth density state of consciousness, it's a different frequency band. It's us perceiving of reality more the way that it is, which reality is much more flexible. You see things as compositions of light. It's a different mode of perception. And in 4D reality, we are moving from the lower vibrational emotions into our heart. And because we are then inside of our heart, we then perceive of a higher vibrational reality. Now, what Bashar said, that as time goes on, these two realities, which are overlaying themselves right now, are going to begin to separate. It's going to be harder and harder to talk to people that are in the different realities. If you're on the third density state of consciousness versus the 4, it may be harder to perceive of other people in the fourth density state of consciousness, and they may not even show up in your life. I've had that happen with some people, where people that I used to see around a lot, I don't see them as much anymore, and I can tell that these worlds are beginning to splitting. And Bashar said, get on the time track you want, because as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder to perceive of the other. And you don't want to end up on the negative timeline. So one thing I have done is I've just recently made, by the time this video goes out, that meditation will be live. There's a meditation that if you listen to for 21 days, I think will totally transform your life and help you be in a fourth density or fifth dimensional state of consciousness. Fourth density or fifth dimensional, they are similar in certain ways. And that meditation will be in the top of the description box below. Listen to it for 21 days. It will help you to make this transition. It'll help you to wake up so that you don't continue to experience the 3D illusion the same way, getting reincarnated over and over and over again, like many people have with unawareness. What happened is we are all source energy, whether we are aware of this or not. We decided that there was going to be a reality where we forget who we are, because in the forgetting of who we are, we can then have a reality of polarity so that we can then remember who we are. And then we have more aspects of us relating to other us's. So we are all connected. But what we wanted to do in this reality system right now is we wanted to wake back up and then choose whether we go back into this reincarnation cycle over and over and over again. And some people that stay in third density state of consciousness, when they pass away in this life, they may not have the option to come back to Earth specifically. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but in the Dolores Cannon material, in the Law of One material, it says that eventually, if they're at a third density state of consciousness, they may have to go to a different planetary system, because third density consciousness is going to go away. It's phasing out. It's phasing out. The illusion, the autopilot mind, the perspectives of anger towards this and that, and the reaction mode that a lot of people are in, that reality, right now the negative things are happening to wake people up. So what is happening is there is these reasons for us to wake up. But the key is understanding that we came here to experience this shift. This should be one of our main priorities, is moving from the denseness of 3D, third density, into that of fourth density, becoming aware that life is more like a dream than we could ever imagine. That we can then have this connection and understanding of oneness. And when we understand oneness, our whole entire reality changes. If you knew that the person you were going to treat badly was another version of you, it would seem ridiculous. I like Harry Potter. This is in one of the movies, Harry Potter, there's this thing called the Bogart, which is this thing that appears as people's fears. It's like in this dark little closet. When you open it up, it comes as the person's greatest fear. It transforms into it. And the way that they get rid of this Bogart is they say the word ridiculous, and then they think of something funny. They reframe it. In the same way, we are transitioning from 3D to 4D. One powerful way to get out of the 3D illusion is to understand that these things that appear to be solid and heavy and really bad, understand it's ridiculous. And it's an illusion anyways. Think about it in a funny way. The more you realize your life is a form of dream, the more dreamlike your life becomes. The reason I say that is because that transition is about going into fourth density. It's just that if I were to say, oh, the more fourth density you become, not a lot of people would understand that. But if I say life is like a dream, everyone knows that metaphor because everyone goes to bed at night and everyone dreams, whether they were aware of it or not. So you came here in this life to go through this degree of separation, to forget who you are, to go through the pain and then get to a level of spiritual awakening to where now you're watching this video. And you can only perceive of that which you are the vibration of. Remember that as well. So you are in the process of awakening. And the goal is, most of us waking up now have come to help other people wake up. So like that meditation I'm talking about that's linked in the top, listening to that will help you to embody a 5D level of consciousness so that then it influences everyone around you. You see how that works? It's contagious. When I went through my spiritual awakening, my mom then triggered my mom, and then triggered some of the other peoples in my family that were directly around me. And it's because it's contagious. Even if they don't understand it at first, eventually it leads to more and more of a progression of their own level so that they can go from 3D to 4D, third density to fourth density. That is happening right now on the planet. You came here for this. You are a light worker. You are a multi-dimensional being that exists at many different levels. And when you go to bed at night, you have this connection, but you forget when you wake up in the morning because then you reemerge as this separate being. But the purpose of this life is to reconnect and understand that we can begin to perceive of things from a fourth density state of consciousness, that we are all connected, that we all have this connection within ourselves. And the more that we tap into this awareness is the more that our reality becomes flexible and equal to that perspective. So don't get left behind. This is what Bashar was talking about when he said that. There are these different tracks. You can only perceive of the track that you're on. And remember as well that with this, there are different parallel reality versions of each level of consciousness. So there'll be people that experience very negative timelines. And for a while, they will overlap. And there will be people that perceive of that, and there'll be people on the other side of it that perceive of a more positive timeline, both overlapping, both maybe just different parts of the world, maybe even the same city, but different parts of different level of perception. However, as time goes on, they're going to begin to separate more and more. And the key is getting into that of a fourth density state of consciousness. Another way to think about this is the chakra system. You have the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, and then the heart, and then the throat, the third eye, and the crown, right? We have all of these different chakras. What the law of one says is that purpose in this life is to balance out the bottom three chakras, balance out our root chakra related to our identity, our sense of survival, balance out our sacral chakra, our relation to other people, and our relation to sexuality, the relationship that we have with our solar plexus, our connection to our family, our connection to our society, our purpose in life, our willpower. And as we balance these out, we can then move into the fourth. Now understand, 1, 2, 3, third density. Right now we're in a density of power, of relation to other people, of understanding, are we doing what we're passionate about? Are we just doing things because we want to make money, or are we doing it because we're passionate? And then in order to move into the fourth density, which is our heart, what we must do is we must balance out the bottom three chakras. So like I said, that meditation in the top of the description box, listen to that for 21 days. It will help you soak in 5D energy so that you then balance out these bottom three chakras and then exist in a higher state of consciousness. So this is happening. You came here for this, whether you were aware of it or not. You are a high vibrational being that is dreaming you are this 3D physical human. And the more that you become aware of who you really are and that you came here for this fourth density split, the more you can begin to embody things equal to that level of consciousness. You came here with a purpose. You came here to remember that this is an illusion. You came here to remember that you can make life more dreamlike by having more fun. You came here to wake up out of the response autopilot mind and to start to choose things from a level of awareness. You can choose things from a level of awareness, and when you do that, your life begins to transform because you take your power back. You are no longer in the victim mode of the reactive mind, the autopilot mind, and you are then in a level of choosing, consciously deciding, and you are what we call woke. So if you want to be woke, then move forward with fourth density, don't get left behind, and understand how powerful you are and that this is the main reason you came. So with that, you'll see that meditation at the top of the description box. I'm very, very excited to reveal that and to have people listen to it. I think it's probably the most powerful meditation I've ever made, and I have a lot of them on YouTube. So I'm excited for that. Also, if you haven't already, I have more videos coming out about this kind of information. So if you haven't, hit the notification bell. The only way you see the daily videos on my channel is hitting the notification bell. It's just the way YouTube does things now. So I hope to see you there. I got a lot more good stuff coming. And other than that, peace, much love, and namaste.